actually like that musical. I don't understand all the backlash. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, you came right up now. Like as soon as I opened it. All right. You are
What's happening,
on,
folks?
sir. You are on.
Come on in the room.
Good morning.
Vincent Brown, you are number one, sir.
On Periscope,
Good morning.
it means I'm coming for you with the hearts. Coming for you.
Okay. Miss Erlene, good morning. Miss Pam, good morning. Deacon Jimmy, good morning. Miss Bass Night, good morning. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Make sure you share this with your networks, with your folks. Go ahead and hit share right now. Hit share.
Right now.
So that people know that we are on. Also, additionally, if you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and click the notifications bell. All right. Good morning, Miss Willa Mae. Good morning, Miss Erlene again. Good morning, Miss Audrey. Good morning, Miss Roberta. Good morning, KB. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Kingdom Man. I love this shirt.
Did you have to look and see what shirt you had on?
No, I just wanted to say, I didn't want to say I love the shirt, and they'd be like, it's just the black shirt.
It's the black shirt.
Right.
I got it.
There we go.
You know, I was about to go like this. That's if I could do it.
Man. Kingdom Man.
It
All
takes
right.
effort to go back.
It does, man.
That's why I be like this. Oh, wrong side. I'm trying to fix this side.
I'd be like, I gotta go from Cliff to Dina.
Didn't we just say we're going live?
Yeah, we did.
Why are they yelling?
Because they crazy. They crazy.
They got a little bit crazy in them.
And they ain't even been cooped up in the house.
No.
They've been up for 5 hours.
We done been out, worked out at the park.
Mm-hmm. Put some scunion on that little onion.
Yes.
Put some more scunion on it tomorrow. They planning to play football.
Football.
Not football, but football. American football. Tackle football, that is. So I said, do you want it to be really hard or you want it to be hard? He said, I just want it to be hard. I said, okay, cool. We're going to get out here.
Yes.
Cool. Outstanding.
Okay.
Make sure y'all use the hashtag live_free_revolution. Thanks for being with us. Be sure to join us tonight at 7 o'clock for Pause.
My bad.
We're in the book of Jonah. We've arrived at chapter 4, the final countdown, the final chapter of the book of Jonah. All right. This is where Jonah has come to preach.
Kev said he got a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that whole thing. I was listening to the kids. My bad. But I'm ready, Kevin. I'm ready. I got my offering ready. Actually, I don't, but I'll get it ready.
I thought you were talking about a shirt, so I don't know.
Oh, I just be looking for some Kevinisms.
Oh, some KBs.
Some Rev Kevs. Some Rev Kevism.
In chapter 3, chapter 2, Jonah prays, and he's vomited up on dry land. Absolutely, biblical revelation produces behavior revolution. No seed needed. Amen.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. That's all.
He said no seed needed.
I just be offering it.
Give him a high five, a virtual high five. And so in chapter 3, he preaches his sermon.
Good. I'm sorry. I'm very taken.
He preaches his sermon, and it's a 5-word sermon, 5 words in Hebrew. In English, it says 40 days, yet 40 days, Nineveh will be overthrown. The people immediately turn. People immediately begin to fast. begin to put on sackcloth. The king puts on sackcloth, sits in ashes, puts a decree and proclamation. Nobody's going to eat anything or drink anything, not even the animals. And they turn. At the end of chapter 3, it says, and God relented. He saw their works, and he relents from what he was going to do. Remember, the Old Testament, the Old Covenant deals in works. The New Testament is all about grace. Okay? The New Covenant, New Testament is all about grace. Old Covenant, Old Testament is about works. God's seen your works. So we are living in the dispensation between the book of Jude and the book of Revelation. Okay? Well, that's what we're living at if you want to look at the Bible chronologically. So all the things that are written, all the things that are originally, or that are happening in the Gospels and the pastoral and general epistles, those have been written for us so that we can live for Christ. So if you want to look at it, we're living post Acts, to Revelation. The end times have not started. The rapture has not taken place yet. Therefore, the tribulation period has not taken place yet. So here we are, and Jonah. It starts out in verse 1 of chapter 4. Jonah chapter 4 verse 1 says, hey, Miss Jackie, chapter 4 verse 1 says, but it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he became angry. Hold up, wait a minute. 2 days ago, dare I say, less than 24 hours ago, you were in the belly of a fish because of your disobedience to doing what God said. Now you've said what God told you to say. The people hear what you say. The people turn from their wicked ways, whatever they were doing, and you are displeased exceedingly. Now you may recall when we started the book of Jonah, I mentioned to you that at that point, it doesn't tell us why Jonah is like, I ain't going there. Now, obviously, from a historical perspective, the historicity of the text, it tells us and it shows us that the Jews and the Ninevites and the Assyrians, if you will, didn't agree, right? Because the Assyrians take Israel captive. So now, sorry. So chapter 4, verse 1, Miss Jackie. So it displeased him. But why did it displease him? Was it more than, it wasn't the fact that it was the Assyrians that displeased him. It says it displeased him exceedingly. So more, the tone is more than he has ever been displeased. This was the most. So Jonah, you're doing the most. Right here. He is PO'd. Somebody may think that's the best word. So I'll just keep it G. He is ticked off. He is mad. Yes. And he became angry. I believe Jonah probably did this when he said it. Folded his arms, made his mouth all tight, and this is what he said. Notice that when Jonah gets upset, he gets angry. The Bible says, watch what he does. Verse 2. So he prayed. So he prayed. He didn't pray to a pagan god. It says he prayed to the Lord. Now that teaches us something there. What do I do when I get angry? What should I do when I am displeased? Or as the psalmist says, my soul is disquieted within me. The first thing I should do is pray. Now, we'll look at the scope of Jonah's prayer, but understand the first thing he does is he prays. He prays to the Lord. So he took his, if this was a hymn, right? If the world from you is whole of silver and gold, and you have to get along with meager fare, just remember in his word how he feeds to the little bird. Take your burdens to the Lord and leave it there, right? And so here it is. He is coming to the Lord because he is upset. How often do you go to the Lord first when you get upset? How often do you go to people or whatever first when you are mad, you are angry? Who do you usually go to first? That's something for all of us to think about, something for all of us to consider, because when things happen, we have to and we must go to God first, especially as believers. God already knows how we feel, and we're back. God already knows how we feel. He knows what's going on. And so we might as well go to him, because who can fix it? He can. He's the only one that can fix it. He's the only one that can make things better. So it says he prayed to the Lord. Now, when we get into the words, if you will, of what Jonah says, I'm not suggesting to pray this way. If you do, God is going to hear you. But I'm not suggesting when you pray, just say just like this. Okay? Jonah says, Lord, was not this what I said when I was still in my country? Therefore, I fled previously to Tarshish. Now, understand something. Now, I went back and I knew this verse was coming. But if you look back in Jonah chapter 1, there is no time in the text where Jonah says to God, I don't want to go to Nineveh, because I know what's going to happen. He doesn't say that. So there's obviously a conversation that takes place that's not printed in the text. Okay. And some people use this verse as a contradiction, or say the Bible has a contradiction where it says, Jonah said, didn't I say this to you? Well, the Bible didn't record everything. The book of John tells us that everything Jesus did is not recorded. There's not enough room to record everything Jesus did, right? But John said, I wrote this that you might believe. So there's some highlights, if you will, that are written, highlights of those, if you will. So Jonah says, was not this what I said when I was still in my country? That they were he was going to preach it, they would hear it, and they would turn. That's how I felt. Therefore, I fled to Tarshish. For I know that you are a gracious and merciful God, slow to anger and abundant in loving kindness, one who relents from doing harm. Jonah says to God, I knew I don't like them so much, and I don't want them to be saved. I don't want them to be better. I want them to get what they deserve. But I know you. See, you're going to tell me to go preach, and they're going to do what you say, and then you're going to relent from whatever you was going to do. I don't want them to feel good. They are my enemy.
They deserve it.
And they deserve it. They deserve it. Whatever they get, they deserve. In 40 days, they should be overthrown. Matter of fact, don't wait for 40. Do it in 7. Matter of fact, Lord, do it right now. That's how Jonah is feeling. Like, 40 days and y'all going to be overthrown. Peace. That's why it says he just goes into the city and says it, and that's it. And the word eventually gets to the king. Jonah is upset. Jonah is mad. He's not mad that the people listen to the message. He's mad that God showed them mercy.
The same mercy that he showed Jonah. Because mercy, just like sin, there's no hierarchy of mercy.
Yeah,
no
levels
of mercy. Mercy is mercy. And if it's extended to me, who am I to say it should not be extended to you? Mm-hmm. Who is Jonah to say it should not be extended to them? Which goes back to what we said. When the Lord tells you to do a thing or say a thing, all you're responsible for, except the pastor and the teacher, is to make sure you do it. What happens, what comes from it, what the next step is on the person that is receiving it has nothing to do with you.
Nothing. Yeah, you're right, Reverend. He got a nerve. You were just in the belly of a fish.
And mercy saved your life.
For 3 days and 3 nights. You were in water. You can't breathe in water. Watch this. So God must have fed.
Everybody don't know they can't breathe in water.
Everybody don't.
Everybody don't know that.
Some people think they can.
Some
like for real.
Really
Some
think
people
they
really
can
do.
breathe in water.
You don't. So the Lord must have fed the fish sufficiently prior to Jonah being swallowed, right? So that the fish didn't get hungry in those 3 days and 3 nights. You know, some animals, I think I was looking at something on National Geographic or whatever, and it was a snake, and the snake ate whatever it was, and it said because he ate that big meal, he wouldn't eat. It would be the last meal before he went to sleep to shed his skin or whatever it was, so he wouldn't be hungry again. The fish must have not gotten hungry. Watch this, because when he opens his mouth and he swallows whatever, some of the water's going to go in his stomach and da-da-da-da. You know, that Jonah, God showed you mercy.
Absolutely.
For 3 days and 3 nights, bruh. As a matter of fact, the day before, just before you got swallowed, God showed you mercy.
Get this, not only showed you mercy, but performed miracles as a result of the mercy he was extending to you.
Mm-hmm. You got miracles and mercy. And all you had to do was preach a message. You knew it was coming. All you had to do was preach the message. And in order to get the message out, he let you experience his mercy and a miracle. Or multiple miracles, for that matter. That even in his prayer, he was like, I got fish, I got seaweed around my head and all of this. I am.
Teresa said God made you fast.
Yeah, he did.
He would have wear the fish on a fast.
It's and now you've been vomited up. You made a 3-day journey in 1 day. You preach the message, the people turn around. Meaning, watch this. The fact that they're turning around, what were their evil ways? Their evil ways were against the Jews, the children of Israel. Well, guess what? If they turn from their wicked ways, who are they not messing with anymore? They ain't messing with them anymore. So now, Jonah, what's the deal, man? What's going on with the light? Keep getting a shadow or something. I don't know. Anyway.
There you go.
Okay. All right. It is. So now Jonah is experiencing. I'm not even going to say righteous indignation. This is unrighteous indignation. He is mad for no reason. Excuse me. He is mad for a reason, but for an unfounded reason or illegitimate. Thank you, Lord. An illegitimate reason. He is mad.
This is what judging to condemnation looks like. This is where we cross the line, because when he got to the point where he said, basically, they don't deserve your mercy, then that's when Jonah tried to take the ability to give mercy into his own hands, of which he cannot do. None of us really can do, but the fact that he thought he had the right to say who and who does not deserve mercy really is a form of pride.
Man. So Jonah tripping. Jonah is tripping. Do we go there or wait for tomorrow?
Wait for tomorrow.
Jonah's tripping. He says, I'm mad because I knew you was going to do this. That's the extent of his prayer. I knew you were going to do for it. That's why I wanted to go to Tarshish, because I knew that you, God, are merciful and gracious, slow to anger, abundant in loving kindness, abundant in mercy, and one who relents from doing harm. That's why I'm mad, because I knew you was going to do this.
Can I just translate?
How'd you make it?
I knew you were faithful. I knew you were true to your word. I know you have been tried and proven.
Over and over
again.
This is, God, this is crazy. You know good and well, as my mother would say, you know good and well they supposed to get what they deserve. They had it coming. And now they ain't got nothing done. Well, Jonah, you had it coming.
Because really the only point of a warning is to prevent the consequence of the warning. God wouldn't need the prophet lest he was warning you from something to give you a chance to get right before it happened.
She said lest. King James.
King James. I didn't even repeat that.
I'm going to just sip my
Just
tea.
sip your tea. There
my
would be
mother.
no purpose of the warning if there's no opportunity to get safety. Severe weather. You get a warning so you can go to your safe place.
Mm-hmm.
The warning is so you can make a change so that the consequence that's coming your way, the thing that's coming your way to potentially kill you, harm you, hurt you, you can avoid that. If there was no way for that to be avoided, there'd be no way for the warning.
Mm-hmm. Watch this.
No need for the warning.
Why do we have a gas gauge on the dashboard? So that it can tell us when the car is running low on fuel, because without fuel, it can't go to its destination. When it doesn't have enough fuel, you get a warning. The entire time, you get a consistent warning. When it's really low, you hear a ding and a light and maybe something flash on the dashboard to say, hey, you need to get gas. Watch this. If you don't get gas,
You'd be stuck on 87 waiting for your husband.
you're stuck on the side of the road. And can you be mad at the car? No. Why? Because the car told you time and time. The car has told you since you got gas last time that it was getting low.
Getting lower.
God, that's good. So it's the time is coming for you to get gas. It's coming. There's the kids play Fortnite and there's this thing called the storm. The storm is on it, and you got to do whatever before the storm closes in on you, and the storm will kill you. And the whole time there's a clock in the corner that says the storm is coming. The whole time. So you can't just sit in one spot and like, I'm going to just chill right here. No, you got to advance because the storm is coming. Watch this.
You got to advance because the storm is coming. That's good word. That's my one for the day. Thank you, Lord.
You can send me offering. Cash at me. So now Jonah has to tell them. Jonah's the warning. He gives the warning. And shouldn't people respond when there's a warning? Yes, but Jonah didn't want them to respond. It's like Jonah said, God, anybody but the Assyrians. Anybody but them. Anybody but the Ninevites. I don't like the Ninevites. Anybody but them. I'm going to say this and finish. For the sports folks, it's when folks say, I don't care who wins the Super Bowl, World Series, whatever, as long as it's not X, as long as it's not this team or whatever. And on that note, Patrick Mahomes better win a whole bunch of Super Bowls based on what he just got paid. So that's it. So Jonah gets upset, but Jonah does pray. Yeah, we're done now. Jonah prays, and after he prayed, but the crux or the meat of his prayer is riddled in anger, and it's riddled in how a Christian should not act.
Pride.
And a prophet, no less, should act, or a preacher, or whatever. Anybody should act. And so we'll see tomorrow what exactly the Lord says. What the last thing Jonah says, and how the Lord responds to Jonah. Because this is the last chapter in the book. All right, so pray when you get angry. Go ahead and pray. That the loving thing is God's going to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But when something's happening, you pray. Most importantly, when God says go, go. Amen.
He hear you, but he also going to check you.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
When you get checked, just receive the check-in.
Receive the check-in and keep on moving.
Say, oh, okay. All right. You didn't mean this time that hard.
Check and grow. All right.
Bless y'all. Thank y'all. Apostle Power tonight, 7 o'clock. Musical motivation today, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Women's class tomorrow. Doors open at 6:45.
Doors open. Virtual doors. Don't you go to the church.
Don't you go to the church. Virtual doors on Zoom. You should have got an email. If you did not get an email, check your email. If you did not get one, will you put my email address in there, please?
Okay.
Shoot me an email or a text message so I can get your email address and make sure you get the Zoom information. You got it? Oh, there it is. Send me your information so we can make sure you get the Zoom login info. That is tomorrow. Virtual doors open at 6:45. The class starts at 7. We have a special guest who is teaching the necessity of obedience.
How about that?
How appropriate. And then don't forget, second Sunday is Family and Friends Day. Woo-hoo. Go ahead and invite virtual. Go ahead and invite your guests to join us for morning worship. Make sure they tag you in their comments so that you can get credit for your guest, and you just may be the winner of a brand new, not a car. I don't know what though, but you'll get a prize if you have the most guests.
But you can be certain it's going to be brand new.
It's going to be brand new. Yes.
Won't be a used pen.
It will not be a re-gift.
Or a beat up Bible. That's funny. Something else. Every day, 11 o'clock, midday motivation. And so be with us. Also, go vote. If you haven't voted already by mail, go vote today. Today is election day of our primary election here in New Jersey. So go vote. For those of you in Pennsylvania, it's not election day. You all already voted. For those of you in New Jersey, it is election day. So make sure you go vote. Even in the midst of COVID, we're going to leave here in a little bit, and we're going to go vote as well. Lift up our good friend, Pastor McDougall.
Praying for you, sir.
In North Carolina. His wife transitioned on Saturday, I believe it was. And so we want to lift him up in prayer. Pastor McDougall, Pastor Michael McDougall, just lift him up in prayer. I see he's on with us now. So we appreciate if you would do that. Good friend of ours. God's doing great things in his life. All right.
And just because I know it, because I saw it on Facebook, and I know she's not on, but Pam and Kevin, tell my money we said happy birthday
to you.
Oh, God.
I'm
not singing.
Birthday to you. TW, we love you. We really do.
He goes the O.
Oh,
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. As our spiritual father, he would sing it just like that.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Okay. Gotta run. That's a song too.
Gotta run. Sing. Now sing. All right, folks.
The blood is running warm in your veins. Yes. All right. Primetime prayer tomorrow at 8 p.m. on these social media outlets.
Ladies, don't forget,
thank y'all.
Send me an email or text me if you did not get the Zoom information. We need everybody, all the ladies, please, invited guests. We need y'all on. This lady is coming. She's our special guest all the way from Indiana. So get on the line. All right, I'm going to be quiet now.
Oh, last thing. Next Tuesday is our conversation with Pastor Dr. Ray Siervo and apologist Dr. Ray Siervo and apologist Minister Alex McElroy. During our Pause for Power time, we're going to be discussing mysticism or the Messiah. Wonderful discussion. We're going to do that. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Be blessed. Remember this. We love you.
And you can't do a thing about it.
All right. Grace and peace.